Probably see my laptop. Let's see. All right. Ooh, this is a first. This is a first. A first, just a first. So today, this is weird because I'm live streaming on both YouTube and Periscope. But today, I haven't been on live stream in a while. First time on YouTube. Periscope's been quite a minute, maybe December. Anyways, today I wanted to come on. You know what? I should probably introduce myself first. So, hello, my name is Leia. If you are new to my channel or new to my Periscope, I guess also a channel, my name is Leia and I am a certified human being. No, I'm joking. I am a vlogger. I'm a blogger and trying to get into the vlogging thing also. And yeah, it's been a while since I've live streamed, and I had some thoughts I wanted to share today that I won't really have time to pre-record and edit and all of that good fun stuff. So I figured I would just do a live stream so I can spew it out for you. Excuse me while I have some water. Anyway, so that is why I'm here. So far, no viewers, but that's okay. I have confidence that this will be viewed someday, so no worries. So today, as you could probably tell by the title, I want to talk about self-care. And the reason why I want to talk about self-care is because the last, if I'm being totally honest, like 8 months, but to be more present, the last month has been quite a challenge for me, self-care wise, or just generally. A lot of new things have come into my life, and is that dust in my hair? Oh dear, how embarrassing. Okay. So a lot of new things have happened to me in the past month, or at least it feels like a lot of new things. So in April, I did Veda, which if you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably just click on my face somewhere on your screen and go to my channel and see all of my Veda videos, which was quite a handful of work. It was a lot of fun, but it took far more time than I expected, which is fine. I knew it would take time. But the thing is, just about the middle of April, I got hired for a new job. So that was interesting doing the two together. So the first half of April, I was doing my final exams for school, and I was like, cool, after finals, it would be easy going. Nope, got a job. Not complaining, wanted the job, but let's just say sleep has not been much in my vocabulary lately. So that brings me to my topic of self-care. And again, if you're just tuning in, I'm looking sideways because I'm also periscoping at the same time. So, yes. So, goodness. So, self-care, focus. So, April has been a little rough for me, and if you're asking yourself, but Leia, it's the end of May, it's almost June, what are you talking about? Let's just say I haven't really recuperated, and May hasn't been much easier. So I work at a restaurant, and I got hired in the middle of April. However, it's a new restaurant, so we were not open yet. So the last 2 weeks of April were just training, which weren't too hard, but still time consuming as far as Veda goes. And then the last few weeks have been just cray. Just like, that's the only way to describe it. They've been crazy. So, not to mention I had other stuff planned for me before I had a job that I still had, that I committed to, that I had to keep the commitment for. And so last week in particular was there was not much sleep happening. So all that to say, on, was it Tuesday? Yes, Monday night. I worked Monday, Tuesday, and Monday night while I was at home, I started feeling like I was coming down with something. And I thought, like, okay, maybe I'm just getting a little sick. Maybe I'm getting a cold. I was like, I can't get a cold right now. I have like a full work schedule this week and I have things I need to do. I don't want to get sick. And you know what I did? Do you know what I did when I started feeling sick? I kept on working. And I don't mean at work. I meant like my personal work that I've been working on for my blog and stuff. And I was just like, I have to get through this. There's a deadline for this. This needs to happen. And of course, I just kept pushing because I'm stubborn like that. And eventually, like maybe an hour or two later, I was just like, I can't. I have to rest. I have to go to bed. I don't know what it is, but I feel horrible. So I can't, it's kind of all a blur. That's how ill I was feeling. But I eventually went to sleep, and I thought about calling off, but I was like, you know what? I'll be good. I just need to sleep. I will wake up for my 8 a.m. shift, which means I have to wake up at 6, and I'll be fine. I'll feel a little down, but like it'll be 8 to 4. No big deal. I'll come home at 5 and I'll feel fine. I'll just sleep for the rest of the night. I get to work at 8 a.m. and by 8:39, I had to clock out because I felt horrible. I was so sick. My body was aching. I wasn't even, I couldn't even tell you what I had, because I didn't have anything. I didn't have a flu, didn't have a cold, because as you see now, is it Wednesday? No, it's Thursday, and like, it looks like nothing has happened to me. I look and sound fine. And so I went home. I got home maybe about 9:30, and I just slept all day. I had some food. I watched TV for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then I slept all day. And I slept for maybe 3 or 4 hour stints. And every time I woke up, I still felt exhausted. And it wasn't until about 9:30 at night that I took some ibuprofen, because I finally was just like, I have class tomorrow. I'm taking a summer class. It's like, I have school tomorrow. I can't. It's a 5-week course. I can't afford to skip a week because it's not your regular semester. It's like I'd be skipping 3 classes. Like, I can't skip class. So I was just like, I'll take an ibuprofen, get rid of this headache. Maybe it'll make my body stop aching. Maybe it'll make my gums stop aching, because my gums were killing me also. So I finally did all that, and I woke up at 1:30 and I felt way better. And that's because I slept more deeply. I wasn't sleeping very deeply before that. Anyways, still didn't feel great Wednesday. I know this story is going long. I'm so sorry, but if you're watching this like on a replay, you could just fast forward. But I promise there's like a semi point to this, or at least an explanation as to why I'm talking about self-care. It's kind of therapeutic. I'm just telling you my problems. Anyways, this is boring you, just fast forward. But the story is almost over. So I woke up Wednesday. I felt way better. Still not great, but way better. But of course, I was like sneezing, even though like there was nothing to sneeze out. I was just sneezing. You could say it was allergies, but I don't have, like, in the past, I've never had a problem with allergies, so I really doubt that's what it is. Plus, I'm not sneezing now, so it would make no sense that it's allergies. But all of that just to say that I think my body was just revolting against how hard I was pushing it and how little of a break I was giving it. Which is why we're talking self-care today. So this is my self-care story. This is not the first time this has happened to me. I can remember a couple times in the past year or so, in the past year and a half, where I've gotten sick, but within one full day of sleeping, I'm fine, which is how I know that it's like not a virus or some type of bacteria, which might be the same thing, I don't know. But I know that it's my body telling me, yo, you need to take a chill pill. Like, just chill. Like, one day off, you'll be fine. Like, it's like, seriously, it's cool. Because as soon as I do, I'm like fine again. Like right now, I could sleep a little, but I like literally I feel fine. So to get into my tips, Um, so my 3 tips, some of these I followed, some of them I did not. And the ones that I did not, that's where I messed up. And that's what put me on the couch and in my bed for nearly 30 hours. Um, what was the other point I wanted to say? Oh, for me, it just meant sleeping for a full day. But it is not unheard of for someone to work themselves to exhaustion and go to the hospital. Like, I've seen that happen with people, and I've heard it happen with people. So just to stress, kind of stressing to myself also, how important it is to take a breather sometime and to take care of yourself, because you can't do anything if your body is too worn out, so, or burnt out, same thing. Yeah, so my first tip is to always stand your ground. And the reason why this is my tip, this is actually the one thing that I semi followed. So it's important to always stand your ground, because when you're going, and especially when you're working for someone else, this might be a very general statement, but a lot of the times you will get asked to do more than what you have put on your plate. And there's nothing wrong with that if you can do it without putting yourself overboard. If you can do it without overloading your plate, go for it. But if you know your body and you know yourself, and you know that if you go too much past a certain point, if you know that whatever is being asked of you is going to put you over what your limit is as far as how much you can do before you need to like just stop completely and take a break, say no and stand your ground. No is a complete sentence. It's one of the most important things I've learned in the last 2 years of my life, is that no is a complete sentence. You do not, I mean, if you have a boss, it might be a little bit different. I don't really know. I'm kind of young. I haven't had many bosses. But even when I'm being asked like to do extra hours outside of what has been previously agreed, my understanding is that you can say no, because you didn't agree to that right off the bat. So stand your ground. If you need to say no because it's going to be too much for you, and number one, you know it's going to put you overboard, but number two, you know you won't do your best if you take on that extra task, which might defeat the purpose of taking it on in the first place, just say no, stand your ground. That's like probably the one thing I've done in the past month, especially the past few days, that have probably kept me going as long as I've had. I did still overcommit to some things, but a lot of it just happened that I committed a long time ago, and it fell into place with other things that weren't planned. Anyways, it's besides the point. Stand your ground when you know you cannot do more than what you already have on your plate. My second tip for you is to be smart with how you plan your time. I'm so sorry if I'm shaking the camera. Oh my God. So sorry. So anyways, my second tip is to be smart with how you plan your time. If you've looked at my channel at all, you will see that I love planners. I'm obsessed with planners. Not very good at sticking to a schedule, but that's why I have a planner, because for me, having a schedule and semi-sticking to it is still way more effective for me than having no schedule and just trying to do all the things. Like, it just doesn't work for me. For some people, they can do that and get everything done. For me personally, it does not work. I will be like a little lost birdie without its mother. I won't know what to do. I'll just wander aimlessly. And so the reason why I say that is because, why do you say that? Like, okay, because it's important to, if you know you have 3 tasks to do today, it's important to know which one's the most important, which one needs to get done first, which one can wait. What if it didn't get done today could technically wait till next day, even though you rather get it done today. It's so important to prioritize, and it's so important to schedule those things, because I know I'm not the only one that if it's not written down somewhere, whether it's a to-do list or a timed schedule, it's not going to get done. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to schedule your day sometimes. That doesn't mean you have to schedule everything, or if you go out on vacation, you have to schedule every place you're going to go. But if you're working or you're in school, it's really useful to schedule appropriately. And not the caveat, but the second part to that is to schedule prep time and to schedule cleanup time. And this is not coming from my brain. I wish it was, because it's genius, and some of you might think like, well, duh, how could you not think of that? But I didn't think of it, so I think it's genius, whatever. So this is something that I heard from a channel here on YouTube called How to ADHD. I personally do not know if I have ADHD. I'm getting tested soon, but I'm pretty sure I do. Probably do a video on that sometime in the future. But I do watch that channel because even if I don't have ADHD, some of those tips are extremely useful. It's a great channel. She's super hilarious. I suggest you check her out. I believe her name is Jessica. Yes. And she did an interview with a specialist who also has ADHD, but who helps others with ADHD. And one of his tips and suggestions was, when you're planning out your schedule or your schedule or your to-do list, you have to account for how much time it takes to set up that task, how much time it takes to do that task, and how much time it takes to clean up that task. Now, cleanup could actually be physical, like let's say you wanted to garden your garden. You wanted to water your garden. Let's say your garden's super big, so it takes you 10, 15 minutes to water the garden. Well, first you have to account how much time it's going to take to prep for that. Maybe it just means taking out the watering can and filling up the can with the hose, or maybe it means bringing out your like attachable sprinkler thing to your hose. And then you have to account for how much time does it take to clean that up. So you have to account for the task, before the task, and after the task, which sounds like a lot of work. But for someone like me who tends to schedule things smack right next to each other, which I'm getting better at, but I still do it sometimes, it makes it so that things jumble together, and then that's how you become overloaded, because you think you could get 5 things done in a certain amount of time, but really you could get 3 things done because you didn't account for the cleanup. I know, sounds so logical, right? Anyways, so that's my side note to scheduling. And then my very last tip, which is something I also messed up on this past few months, but mostly the past 3 weeks, is not taking even, let me rephrase my sentence. My tip to you is to at least schedule 10 minutes in the little nooks and crannies of your schedule of self-care. And that could be having a coffee in the quiet of the morning, something I like to do. It could be catching up on Facebook. I wouldn't consider that self-care because I feel like that's something most people do in their nooks and crannies anyways. But it could be reading, it could be calling up a loved one, whatever it is that brings peace to your day, or that makes you feel good, or makes you feel relaxed, makes you feel calm. It's okay if you don't have an hour in your day to do that, or if you don't have a whole day of a week to do that. 10 minutes in one day or 10 minutes every other day is still a whole lot better than going without it for 7 days or 10 days or 12 days and then looking up and being like, whoa, where, like, where did the time go? I swear it was Monday yesterday and like it's Friday. It happens. Like, I know I'm not the only one that happens to. So it's better to schedule even 10 minutes. I feel like anyone, with the exception of very, like, maybe 1% of the population, can schedule 10 minutes out of their day in the morning or before after lunch or right before bed to just do something they love. It doesn't have to be long, and 10 minutes goes a whole lot further than 0 minutes. So, those are my little tips for you. Tips that I too need to follow. Oh my God, I'm so shiny. So, yes, I hope that you've enjoyed that. Excuse my very detailed story in the beginning. Um, Let me know below if you're on Periscope. Obviously, this doesn't apply to you, but you can tweet me. But let me know either in a tweet or in the comments down below if you're on YouTube. What do you do for self-care, and what happens to you when you don't take care of yourself? For me, it's usually I can't do anything but sleep for like a day and a half, or I get really sad. But the really sad is usually a precursor to needing to sleep for a day and a half. So what happens to you, and what do you do to make sure you get in your self-care as regularly as possible? And third thing, because I'm a very curious person, I want to know, how good are you with standing your ground? Which was my first tip. This is something that, whew, something I had to learn. And I think I'm starting to learn it, and it comes in handy. So let me know if it's something you struggle with. And if it's not, let me know how you do it well so you can share with the rest of us. So I hope to see you guys again soon. And yeah, I guess that's it. Take care. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Bye.